I told you every time we start off a show, hey, we just joyful people. We happy, man.
What?
Welcome to another episode, people. You guys see Hoodnerd over here, man, looking so fresh and so clean.
Hey.
You got a new camera. Shout out to the new cam.
Yeah, well, we couldn't be down forever.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The show just continues to get better and better. New logo, new cam. You know what I'm saying? Audio sounding great. It's sounding good in your ears right now.
ASMR style.
Yeah, y'all in your car right now. Listen to
this shit right now. We talking about gaming. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to be talking about gaming.
You know what I'm saying?
So for people listening to the podcast, how you doing?
For sure.
Are you at work right now? Is life stressing you out?
Are you?
What's going on?
Fuck your boss.
That motherfucker's up
Smack
against
the
you
shit out of him.
anyway. And you know that.
Bitch ass nigga.
Yeah. So what you gonna do
You know what I'm
about
saying?
it?
Get up
What you gonna do about it?
and go smack the fuck out that nigga.
Exactly. But keep your job though.
Keep your job.
So smack him after work with a mask on.
Smack him after work with a mask on.
And that was
What's
ASMR.
going on, man? Hey, right.
Select Star Radio ASMR.
Right. How you doing, man? How's it going?
Cool, man. Everything. How you doing?
Hey, I am good. I'm great, man. I have no complaints. I'm happy that this weather is starting to get nice, although out this way it's getting ready to start raining.
Yeah, it's about to rain tomorrow.
Outside of that, we've had a beautiful week. Last weekend was beautiful, so I'm excited, man. I'm excited to come out there and see you. Your birthday's coming up. April's coming up. Hoodnerd's birthday is it okay?
Sure.
I don't want to put your business out there. I was like, hold on, let me ask him if it's cool. April 21st. Your birthday's coming
20th.
up, man. I mean 20th. I'm tripping. 20th. And then my daughter's birthday is coming up April 9th. Right. So, and then shout out to U.S. Army. You a U.S. Army got the same birthday. Right. Shout out to Kendra. Yeah. She shares the same birthday as you. Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to Kendra, man. It's her birthday as well. That's his family.
Shout out to my uncle.
Yeah. Oh, is he a 20?
My uncle his birthday is the same day. Yeah.
That's not shout out to uncle. Yeah.
Hell y'all. Hell y'all on 20.
420 babies.
So right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So have you got your plans solidified yet? I know we're about a month exactly, are we not?
A month exactly. A month and a day over. Loose plans. Nothing too crazy. Probably just a dinner with some friends and family. Nothing extravagant.
And a party for me.
Oh, excuse me. And a party for you. My bad. Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry. We got to go out that night.
True.
You know
that'll happen. That'll definitely happen at some point. So if you're in the Bay Area, you're more than welcome to come hang out if we do something. So
hey, that'd be dope. That actually would be dope.
We'll get there.
Y'all should come and hang out if y'all in the Bay.
We'll get there. We'll come to you next time.
We about to try something new real quick.
No.
Here we go. Let's see how this works.
They're combing the streets, searching house to house.
If they arrest you two, they will take you to their headquarters, and you will not return.
I'm more concerned with the 6-foot cat man who's got claws that can cut through vibranium alloy. By my count, that makes 2 super soldiers loose in Paris.
3, counting you.
And that's 2 too many.
I'll be there before the sun rises. Before the Germans, before that American. The Eye of Force has been found.
Please, just stick to the rooftops. Be careful, Standwasami.
When am I not?
It's better if I tackle this one alone.
You may encounter some obstacles.
That won't be a problem. Our cat friend is definitely here too. By the look of things, he's not very far ahead.
The American boy is right on your heels.
Who the hell are you?
If you wanted us dead, we'd be dead. So what do you want?
Answers.
That's far enough!
Stay out of my way!
Stand aside!
I do not take orders from anyone!
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
Yeah, man, that man, 2025. 2025 is man. 2025 is about to be crazy.
Yeah, it looked good. It looked really good, actually. For the podcast listeners, we just watched the trailer for Marvel's 1943. I think The Rise of Hydra is what it's called. It's a tech demo that was shown off this week at GDC for a new game. We don't really know, but something.
So I was able to Amy Hennig, right? The lady who used to work at Naughty Dog.
Right.
So she's writing on this game. So that's the actual game. It's actually coming in 2025. It's going to be 4. I did pay attention to the silhouette. They didn't say who the other playable characters are going to be. But I'm sure in a silhouette you could probably tell who it is. I just haven't really looked that deep into it. When I first saw the trailer, I was at work and I was on my phone and I was slightly paying attention and I was thinking it was a movie.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, I know I haven't been paying attention to the movies
facial
that are coming
animations
out,
look
but
really good. So it's something you probably should watch in 4K if you get a chance to, if you have the option. But
absolutely,
it looks crazy.
Absolutely,
yeah, it looks really good.
So, side note, I'm curious to see what that's going to look like. For the people who are watching the video version of the podcast, this is my first time trying that, so I'm curious to see how that's actually going to play out after the fact. So we're gonna see. Yeah, everything's a work in progress, but yeah. So for you guys that listen to the podcast, there's still people asking me, and it's all over the place. But if you guys want to watch the show, Select Star Radio on YouTube and Spotify. If you you can watch the video version of the podcast on Spotify or listen to the audio, either or. Those are the only 2 places though that you can actually view the podcast, YouTube and Spotify. Everywhere else is just audio. So, but yeah, man, next, I just can't wait for. I almost wish we could fast forward through 2024 because next year, I mean, between movies. And then this election, so we can see who the hell this president is about to be. So 2025 is for all intents and purposes is going to be a crazy year. Good movies coming out, or good movies should be coming out next year. Grand Theft Auto, as well as a slew of other games coming out next year. So 2025 is looking great thus far in regards to entertainment. So let's go ahead and get into the other news from this week. In regards to GDC, I really didn't hear much or see much news-wise from GDC. Was there anything that you saw or heard that stood out to you?
I mean, it's all just the tech. It's all just tech stuff. So Unreal had their showcase today. It's probably stuff that we could probably go over next week because it's a lot of tech demos and Fortnite showed off first person mode, you know, stuff like that. So it's all kind of like tech demos. This is what this week is for when it comes to GDC. So all those trailers will come out. We should probably I would say we'd probably go over those extensively next week because they're still coming.
Yeah, because I'll be able to
and we can sit down and actually like go through them all, and then we could talk about what we saw because like it's so many. Because there was one I saw today, I was like, it's so long, I'm not watching that. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole presentation. It's like I'm not watching that right now.
Now, one thing that was not shown but was talked about was Ubisoft debuted their new NPC AI called NEO, ironically. And it was shown off behind closed doors, so there's no video footage, at least no video footage that's been leaked yet. But typically when stuff are shown off behind closed doors, there's no cameras allowed inside. However, there's screenshots from it that you can see, but reading this article on GameIndustry.biz, they actually go into like what they saw. And by all means, Ubisoft isn't the first to do this. Hood, there was one that you actually sent to me not too long ago of NPC AI. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, that was a video.
Okay. And so, obviously, I'm not going to say it's not going to be in Grand Theft Auto, but we haven't heard anything about it. And then all the information they got leaked, it didn't say anything about Grand Theft Auto having NPC AI, which that's the game I really can't wait to see that in, is that game. But nonetheless, Ubisoft's the behavior and the way they interact with the main protagonist, it's almost kind of like, imagine ChatGPT like in a video game. Like you can literally interact, like talk to, if said game ends up doing that. In this game, they were able to talk to the NPC, not with little projected bubbles on screen. Like you were literally able to talk to via a mic to the NPC, and they were able to communicate back and forth, and it was extremely natural. Again, this is all according to this article on game.biz, but they were talking about how interactive it was, how lifelike the AI sounded, responding back, responding to you bumping into them and them pushing you back, or calling you something and then you calling them something crazy back, and then you guys are interacting. It's a really good read, but I wish they would have showed the video footage of it. But you can see early footage of NPC AI. If you type in NPC AI on YouTube, you'll be able to find some videos of some tech demos of other companies that's doing it, that's implementing, or what it will look like when it gets implemented in games in the future. But I'm really curious to see how this will change the way we play games, or change the way open worlds are built, or how you interact with an open world now. I can't wait to see what this what all of this ends up looking like in real time when you're actually playing the game, because truly everyone's story or interaction with the game will be different. Like Hoodnerd will have a different experience than I will, because of, you know, every NPC having their own set of AI protocol.
Yeah, it'll probably be limited though, right? So like you'll probably be able to get into little altercations with them, but they won't be able to take you on like, I mean, we won't be there for a long time where you can like meet somebody and they'll take you on like a side quest. That's just like, you know what I'm saying? Random side quest. It'll probably be more akin to like, yeah, like the interactions you have or the conversations you hear with these people never be the same, right? Every day. It's almost like they're living a real life. So like you'll be able to hear, and then if you do talk to them, they'll be able to give you some quips or give you some things back in like a real question, like, hey, how's the weather today or something. They'll be able to really talk back to you. But other than that, I'm pretty sure story is just gonna be story. We're not gonna be there yet to where it's like, all right, everything is just chaos, right? And you basically just in a world where everything is just like kind of like how you play it. There's definitely going to have to be some hand guidance somewhere.
Yeah, I can't wait until all this technology, AI technology, and things of that nature are built into, especially these open world games in regards to side missions, to where these side missions aren't so repetitive how they are now. Like typically, side missions are it's a different NPC or a different character, but the side mission itself is pretty much the same. Hopefully, with all this AI and stuff like that, they'll be able to change up these side missions to where they aren't so repetitive or aren't so similar. You'll get like different experiences with every side mission instead of them all just being the same. I definitely can't wait for a future like that. I would probably prefer that over interacting with AI NPCs. Like, let these side missions be different from one another instead of being the same thing in a different part of the map. So, but next up in news, Sony has paused production on the PSVR2 due to the fact that
Ain't nobody buying
they
them.
have a lot of
Ain't
units
nobody buying
in
them.
stores and nobody's buying them.
So
I have one that was gifted to me. However, even with that, I mean, there's not many games coming out for it. But Hood, you said you heard of one that's supposed to be
let me get the name of that game for you.
it's supposed to be taken off right now. But um, I'm really curious what Sony themselves are doing in regards to PSVR, because the studio that typically made their PSVR games was London studio, and they've since shut them down. So, with that being the case, I don't know what's going on. Last time they announced numbers, the headset sold 1.7 million, which there's what, like, I want to say like 50, 60 million PS5s out
Something
there.
like that.
So out of the 50 to 60 million PS5s, there's only 1.7 million PSVR2 headsets. So I really don't, I really think that I wouldn't recommend anyone buying one personally. The support for it is barely there. I notice a lot of games, because I have an Oculus as well, and I notice a lot of PSVR 2 games don't have cross support, meaning there's no playing with people who have an Oculus or any other VR headset. And that sucks, because then the community and these social experiences are small. Perfect example, one of my favorite games is Poker Stars VR. Well, it's called something else now because another company bought them. I think it's called like Infinity Vegas now.
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's a free to play game. Go in on the PSVR and the casinos are empty, but when I go in on my Oculus, it's multiple lobbies that are full before you can find an empty one or one with enough space for you to actually go into. And it's lively in there, and you're talking to other people, and you guys are playing different gambling games. I play the main game I play is craps and roulette, and blackjack. But the experience is fun, obviously, with other people. And I was just talking to Hood the other day, and I was saying, I really don't know where to. At that time, I was like, I don't really know where to buy my VR games. Should I be buying them on the Oculus, or should I be buying them on PSVR? Well, now I clearly know. I really don't know why that was a question. I should have known even then, but obviously I'm gonna buy a majority of my, because clearly Facebook, aka Meta, they're all in on VR. Like, they're trying to be the default factor of where you go for VR experiences in the future. It's like they're prepping for the future because they feel like VR is the future. Excuse me. And we're going to see over time if that's the case. But nonetheless, though, Yeah, I definitely, the way that things are going with the PlayStation VR2, I don't see them continuing the PSVR to the next
I mean, I don't blame you.
PlayStation, which is going to be the PS6.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, the lack of support for that hardware, I mean, hardware in general, at PlayStation has been underwhelming, right? Like, I mean, they kind of rolled that headset out with no affair, kind of showed it off at CES like they didn't care. They talked about Gran Turismo, which is the best experience they have. They talked about it like it was nothing, right? Like kind of like, oh yeah, also we got Gran Turismo. You could kind of tell how they felt about VR. So expecting you to buy their VR headset is interesting. So it's like the only thing that's going to save it, they got to drop the price. It's too expensive, and there's better options, and they need to drop the price because one, they marketed it poorly. If you don't want it, why would I want it, right? And that's the whole thing. Like, if you don't look like you want to play it or play with it, why would you expect me to want to play with it? And now it's just like, of course you're gonna halt production because the shits ain't selling. They hella expensive. It's probably a really good headset. You're just not gonna be able to get it in people's hands because it's too expensive. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid, but it's just way too expensive. You know what I'm saying? It's just way too expensive.
I mean, the fact that it costs more than the console,
it's just dumb.
It's crazy in itself. I've never seen, and I know Sony says this isn't an accessory. Bullshit. I've never seen an accessory cost more than the device that you need to use it for. That would be like AirPods costing more than an iPhone. Like, that's crazy. Like, I've never seen an accessory cost more than the device that you need for it to work. So that, I mean, that's the number one issue right there. Like, nobody is going to spend more than what they spent on their PlayStation on this thing. So that's the number one issue. And then number two, after you get the headset, is, well, what games are there to play? So, and there's a majority of the games that there are to play I've played already because they were on PSVR1 and they got ported over to PSVR2, which that's another thing. If you've owned PSVR1, you're having to rebuy these experiences. Some of them, it's only a $10 upgrade. Some of them, they're like, yo, you got to pay full price again, which I'm like, y'all can miss me with that. So, words of the wise, if you're looking to buy a PSVR2, don't. I recommend you buy Oculus.
You know what I'm saying? Just wait until the price drop,
or buy an Oculus.
Or that. But I mean, with PC support coming,
especially if you have a PC, if you have a PC,
it's hard to go against the MetaQuest 3. You keep calling it Oculus. It's hard to go against the MetaQuest.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
It's hard to go against the MetaQuest 3. So you should definitely probably buy the MetaQuest 3 over the PSVR 2 because one, it's untethered. PSVR 2 is tethered. It has some cool features, but you're stuck in the PlayStation ecosystem. With the MetaQuest, you can play on Oculus and you can play on PC, right? So you can buy games on Steam VR. PlayStation, you're just stuck in their Appleverse, you know what I'm saying? Their own little ecosystem, right? So it's your choice. You know, if you can get them all if you can. But like, if you have to choose one, I would definitely probably say the MetaQuest over PSVR. And I mean, just off how presentation, one company cares about their hardware, the other one doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's blatant. It's clear. Period. It's like, yeah, one company doesn't give two shits about their product and the other company cares about their product. Or at least if they don't care, they are making it seem like they care. Well, one company basically showed you, like, we don't give a shit about this product. We're releasing it on our direct-to-consumer platform. We're not putting it in Amazon. We're not putting it in Toys R Us or wherever the hell you could buy it. So you got to come through us to get it. And it's like, all right, like, I don't know how popular you think this thing is, but cool, you know? So,
man, keeping it on peripherals, there's another peripheral. I'm actually excited for this one. It is a wireless, it's the PDP's Riffmaster wireless guitar controller. It's going to retail for $130. It looks sick. I don't know if you've seen it, Hood, but it's like blacked out. It's like a Knight Rider. It's super sick. It's matte black with the shiny black as well. But it looks cool. It's going to be compatible with if you have Rock Band or any of the Guitar Heroes, those are backwards compatible, so you can still be playing those games on your current console. So it's going to be backwards compatible with those. And then with Fortnite's new music festival mode, you'll be able to play it with that as well. So, or it'll be compatible with that as well. $130. It is going to be wireless. So no wires. All the other music instruments back in the day had wires on it. So this one is going to be wireless.
But the rock band controllers will be compatible at some point for that game mode in Fortnite. So they're working on it, which is cool.
I can't imagine spending $130. Shit is expensive, bro.
Yeah,
this stuff is expensive. $130 just for the guitar. I will definitely wait for that to go on sale or for somebody to buy it and throw it on eBay, because I can't see spending. I mean, because how much was Rock Band back in the day? Wasn't it like $199?
Oh, it might have been more than that, because you got the whole thing. You got the guitar.
I cannot remember.
The drums. I can't remember how much they charged.
Hell, even Guitar Hero, I want to say was. How much was Guitar Hero then? I remember Guitar Hero was less than $100. I want to say it was like $80. Because it came with the guitar and just the game. But nonetheless, though,
it was 170. Rock Band price at 170. Yep.
Say it again.
$170.
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I just said Rock Band. The original price was. It says $170. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, 170. That was for everything?
That's what it says.
Okay, I thought it was 199. But yeah, so that's why I'm saying I'm like, God dang, and this is just
it was $200. So this was for when it came out for PS3. Because remember, it came out for PS2 first. So like, yeah, okay. So yeah, that was the. So all right, it was $200.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I'm like, I cannot see spending $130 when I remember the game used to, for a couple more dollars, you got a drum set, a guitar, and a mic, and a game.
But it wasn't wireless.
Like,
but it wasn't.
It was not wireless, and shit is a whole lot. Everything's expensive right now. Yeah. So you are definitely right about that.
How bad you want to play?
Not that bad.
How bad you want to play Rock Band? You want to play $130 worth of Rock Band? Mr. Brightside, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's why I'm saying I'll wait for it to go on sale. I'll wait for that bad boy to go on sale before I spend $130 on it. But it does look sick though. I will give them credit there. It does look sick. So shout out to them. And glad we got a peripheral. But woo. I'm curious how it's gonna sell, to be honest. I'm curious if people who play the music festival and Fortnite, if they are that interested in having a peripheral, or are they cool with just the controller?
Well, it should sell better than the PSVR2 because at least they'll be advertised. Bazing! They definitely didn't advertise that motherfucker at all, bro. So disrespectful to the whole thing. You could tell they didn't give two shits about it. Sorry to go back to that, but they didn't give a fuck about that thing.
I feel bad for the team.
I feel bad for people that were really excited about it. I feel the people that worked on it. It's like, man, you didn't even care. But what can you do?
Well, I was excited for it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's only what, 2 years in or whatever. Is it 2?
Sony has a horrible track record.
I'm not worried about what Sony does.
It ain't gonna change.
I'm worried about once it hits PC. How does it hit PC? And that's when the people really get a hold of it, right? So like, forget what Sony does. They slow when it comes to like that kind of shit. Like that's just how they are. They're slow. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not gonna be Sony doing it. It's gonna be other people doing it whenever it gets to PC.
Yeah, no. Well, you read about that. No argue from me there. Next up in news, cloud gaming.
Your favorite.
So yeah, your guys. So GOG, which is a PC store by CD Projekt Red, they are teaming up with Amazon's Luna. They have a partnership with them. Pretty much the games that you buy from their store will stream on Amazon Luna. They're only starting off with 2 games right now, and the 2 games are the Witcher series and Cyberpunk 2077. Those are the only games that are currently streaming right now on Amazon's platform. However, they're slowly going to bring over the rest of the catalog and their store, over time. So, man, streaming. We slowly heading in that direction. It's happening.
They trying. That shit's slow as hell. Ain't gonna happen no time soon.
So, I'm wondering. What, because we see developers and publishers slowly transitioning in that direction, and I wonder what it is. I wonder if they're just trying to get prepared for the future, or if their data is showing them something in regards to these streaming platforms. Like I'm really curious how well Amazon Luna is doing. I personally don't hear anybody talking about it. I don't know any live streamers that talk about playing the Luna. I really don't hear anybody talking about it. That's not to say that nobody's playing it, nobody's using it. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just curious, like, I wish these companies put out numbers, but they don't anymore. Everybody's so secretive. But I'm just curious, like, how the platform is doing. How many people are actually using it on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis? I don't expect their concurrent users to be the same as Steam or PlayStation or Xbox, but I'm just curious how that platform is doing. But you don't hear anything good, bad, or indifferent. They're very quiet over there. So, but the fact that Ubisoft has a partnership with them, and now as of current, CD Projekt Red has a partnership with them. So Sony is doing hell, they came out with just a streaming handheld device. And then they have obviously their streaming platform. Microsoft has their streaming platform. Google was in it for a hot second and then they dipped out, but they still kind of have their foot in it a little bit, server side. So, and I don't believe Apple is doing anything as of right now. So, I'm gonna say about 5 years. 5 years, I think. Not. I think that it'll be more talked about. I think it'll be more talked about. People will be a little bit more okay with it in about 5 years. Sony would have lost or Apple would have lost their lawsuit to the DOJ, and Xbox will finally be able to have Game Pass in the App Store, and people will be able to stream games directly on their iPhone the proper way instead of the workaround that Apple has people doing. Jerks. But anyways, so yeah, and the last piece of news, one of the last articles we have is, I'm sure a lot of you guys played the mobile game Monopoly Go. I was cracked out on it for a good while. I don't play it anymore. I actually deleted the app from my phone. but Monopoly Go, super popular
Tell us
game.
about it because I never played it.
Now, I want you guys to keep this in mind. So Sony develops or publishes a game called The Last of Us 2, developed by the studio Naughty Dog, the team behind the Uncharted series. To create that game, they spent $100 million. $100 million to make The Last of Us 2. Mario Go.
Monopoly.
I want to get this. Or Mario. I said Mario because I saw this Mario character. Monopoly Go has spent $500 million on marketing. $500 million. The game has now brought in over $2 billion
worthy investment.
in the first 10
Worthy
months.
investment. That's a good flip. That's a great flip. That's a fire flip.
I'm like, what? So let me go ahead and read this short piece for you guys. It says, free-to-play mobile game Monopoly Go has been a surprising success story in the mobile space. Coming out in 2023, the most successful mobile launch with $1 billion in revenue. Developer Scope Games has revealed that in an interview that the game has brought in over $2 billion in the first 10 months, and the company has spent an eye-watering $500 million on marketing. That's insane.
Well, it makes sense.
It's funny because the headline,
game,
the article says,
game,
the article says Monopoly Go develops, or Monopoly Go devs spend more on. Oh, it's okay. Never mind. It says they spend more on marketing than it costs to develop The Last of Us 2, which they did spend more than it cost. They spent that 5 times over.
But
really,
they made it all,
$500 million.
They made more back.
Oh my God!
Because
yeah,
you get that game out there.
Yeah.
It's a free to play. It's a game that everybody knows, and once you got enough of them, it's over. Yeah, easily. I mean, that was the whole point of the Last of Us multiplayer, was supposed to be the bridge to make money so that they can make other games. That was the whole selling point for all the live services. So like, yeah, I mean, live services are just like reflections of mobile games, right? Because they've been doing that. So they're trying to get that constant stream of like repetitive play, so you can feed into that, so that their $300 million games they make have purpose, right? Because they made $1 billion off a game that they could cost them nothing to make. So that's the whole point. But that's what they've been trying. That's the gaming industry now. It sucks, but it is.
That's crazy. So it says VP of Publishing Eric Wood revealed the marketing numbers in an interview with GameFile after Monopoly Go's $2 billion milestone was announced by the CEO earlier this week. To put the $500 million marketing budget in perspective, a poorly redacted document last year leaked a set of budgets for some of PlayStation's biggest AAA titles, which revealed that The Last of Us 2 cost $220 million to develop. Horizon Forbidden West cost $212 million to develop. Damn. They made more than both those games combined.
Yeah.
Or no, excuse me, they paid for marketing more than both those games combined.
More than, you know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, I mean, hopefully Sony sees this. Because literally, Sony does not market.
Yeah,
I don't see
that's
any
different though.
of
But
their
that's
stuff
different though. You
marketed.
can't compare a mobile game's marketing to like a game like The Last of Us. You can't.
For sure. And I'm not. But what I'm saying is, can you do some kind of marketing for your products?
They do. The
Like,
ones they care about.
Something. Outside of
Spider-Man.
PlayStation's YouTube channel,
Spider-Man.
and even Spider-Man didn't have a crazy push. And I remember Insomniac was interviewed on IGN, and they were asked why that was, and they were like, it's Spider-Man. It sells itself. And I'm like, I mean, I guess, along with them talking about how they put more of MJ in the game when fans complained about how they didn't like it in Spider-Man 1, which I really don't know how I feel about that personally. I mean, I get the trolling of it.
No, I mean, but it's also
it's
their
like,
game. So if I want to put the character in the game, fuck you for crying about it. Pretty much, that's how I looked at it, and I feel them because, like, I don't care if you don't like it. Don't play the game then. If you can't handle this 5-10 minute sequence, then don't play the fucking game. Quit crying. It's shut up. You've played worse. It's a bunch of crying. That's all it is. Like, it's not that serious. It's my game. I get to choose what I want to put in my game. I don't care if you don't like it. Don't play my game. That's how I feel. Take my ball and go home. You don't have to play my fucking game if you don't like it. Now, what you gonna do about it? Shut up. Like, get through the sequence and back to the parts you want to play, but it's my game. You don't get to tell me how to make my game just because the fans. Like, no, you were the fan of the game that I made because I made it. Now you're trying to tell me how to make my game. That's like when people try to tell artists how to make their art. You like my art because it was my art. Now you're trying to tell me about my art. Shut up. So let me get off my soapbox.
Well, I don't think anybody's trying to tell you how to make it. I just think people are just coming out saying, hey, this part of the game sucked.
We'll try to make it better.
So they're just giving their opinion
in the game.
So, but and then he was like, yeah, so you guys didn't like it, so we put her in there more, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm doubling down on it too, because like, if you gonna be a dick about it, I'm gonna double down on it. You didn't like it, you're not gonna play the game. It's 4 more sequences now. What you gonna do? Not play the game because of that? If you don't, that's on you. Then we never wanted you to play the game in the first place because you're being a baby. We never used to be able to talk to devs like this. We never used to be able to complain about games. This is new.
I think we just live in a very, very sensitive society.
We also live in a very
on both sides.
Complainer society too. People complain about everything, but we have the option.
But my thing
complain.
is, nobody's gonna 100% like anything.
Sure.
Though. So I don't understand why. Like, if I sit here and I say I don't like Nicki Minaj's new album, you're instantly labeled a hater, but it's like, well, no, I just don't like the album. I'm not saying that it's horrible or it's trash. I'm just saying I don't like it. Just because I don't like it doesn't make me a hater. It's just, I'm just not a fan of it. But I feel like anytime you say that you don't like something nowadays, you got to be labeled something. You got to be a crybaby. You got to be a hater. It's just like, hey, yo, I don't prefer to play those portions of the game. There may be a scene in a movie. I don't prefer that scene in the movie. Oh, you're a hater. You ain't got to watch the movie. Well, no, I'm just critiquing the movie. I'm just saying it gets a little slow right here, and I'm just not a fan of this portion of the movie.
I mean, I think they sped it up. I don't think it was slow at all. Yeah.
But I honestly, if we, want to be hood nerd and go all in and talk crazy, reckless, I think playing her in Spider-Man 2 is fucking trash. If you want to be honest, I feel like I feel like it dumbed down the game, because it's like, you're telling me both Spider-Mans have to use all these special abilities to beat these guys, but this chick could just run around with a stunt gun and just zap people, and you're taking out people that easy? Well, give Spider-Man a stunt gun and let him go and take out everybody with one hit, one shot kill.
I think that's like it's reaching.
I don't. Because again, Spider-Man has all these special abilities that he needs to use to beat these enemies.
Yeah, but so
this
what?
character
They do that in comic books
has
all
a stunt
the time.
gun,
But they do it in comic book characters.
Stuns him with the stun gun, and it's just like, that's it.
It's comics. It's not real. It's not a real thing. It's okay for comics.
I get it, but I'm saying it just kind of breaks. I mean, the human mind isn't dumb to be like, yo, she's just using a
But it's
stun
not a
gun. Why
real
don't they
game.
just
But
use a
like,
stun
it's
gun
already a game with
and hit
whoa,
him
whoa,
with
whoa, whoa.
one
It's already a
hit?
game with superhero characters. What does it fucking matter how the rules are broken anyway, right? The rules of engagement are broken because the power sets change based on who writes the
So
power.
we can say that about
Exactly.
anything.
So
Like,
what does it matter?
why not critique any video
can.
game because all this stuff is
You
fake?
can.
So why
though.
not critique
I'm
it?
just saying, what does it matter, right? Like it didn't. It didn't.
And I'm
but it didn't
telling you
really
what it
detr-
matters. It
But it
breaks
didn't
the
though.
it but it for like I said, well, it did for enough people to, because when I played the game, this is before I even read anything online. My brain is like, how she's just going around with a stun gun and just zapping people and with one hit and that's it. And these fools got to use webs and all their little special abilities to kill
They're not
these
killing
fools.
anybody though.
And she's just using a little, or you know what I mean. And so she's just using one little zap of a stun gun and that's it. It's like, well, hell, give Spider-Man that.
But
like,
would it be?
it doesn't take much for your brain to trigger it.
Spider-Man, though, if he did that, though, that's so silly to try to correlate those two things when that character has no powers.
But it's like, so then why even put her even
because she's
in
a
it
character
at all
in the
any
fucking
capacity?
game. She's a character in the universe.
Cool. There's plenty of characters in the game that you're not playing as.
All right. I mean,
right or wrong? Are you playing as every
sure,
character?
But that's like saying
No.
you just don't want the lady in the game because you don't want the lady in the game. Right. So if we switch the character to somebody else,
But
would it be the
it's-
character?
It's not
So
because
what-
it's
so
a,
it's
it's
just
not
the-
because
so
it's
it's
a
just the
female.
walker-
Like
So
I
what
said
is it?
before,
What
when
is
people
it?
have said that
But what
article
is it?
trying to make it seem like it's a
But what is
sexist
it
thing,
then?
I would have rather played as
but
what's
this
her
time
name?
it wasn't the same.
The one that likes him. I can't remember her name
But it
right
wasn't
now.
even the same.
The cat
It
one.
wasn't even. But she's a
But-
superhero. That's not his girlfriend though. Felicia's not his girlfriend. It's just
Well, you used to
No,
be.
I mean,
Used to be. And so I'm saying I'd rather play as her. So it's not a female thing. I'd rather play as her. She seems like a more interesting character than playing with MJ with the little stun gun. So it has nothing to do with her being a female. I have no problem with it being a female. That's not my issue. So but again, that's all I'm saying is that's my opinion. That doesn't make me a hater of the developer or the game. It's just an opinion. It's okay for people to have opinions. And it's like, if you have one these days, people are so goddamn sensitive, or you got to be labeled as something.
So
Oh, you're a hater.
so-
Oh, well, why do you play in the game then if you don't like it? And it's like, because I'm critiquing something, I got to get asked while I'm playing the game because I
Yeah,
want
but
to. I'm just saying this portion of it
But
sucks.
but it seems as you're right.
It ain't about being right or wrong. Again, these are just my
Sure.
opinions. I feel
But I
like,
feel like-
I said, we live in a hypersensitive
Yeah, but I feel
society
like-
where you can't critique anything anymore,
I
or there's an
don't-
issue with
I
you
don't
critiquing
necessarily
it.
agree with that. I just think
Well, you just
But if you
said
don't
if you
have-
don't like it, don't
yeah,
play it.
It's true.
But it's critiquing.
No, there's a difference. No.
Do you think everything you play
Do you
is
think
is
the devs
perfect?
were coming out because of people like you?
Huh?
Do you think the developers were talking to you specifically? Do you think they were talking to DLB? Do they think they were talking to you who's critiquing with like just an honest, open? Do you think that everybody on the internet talks to the people on the internet like you? Since you're so no.
People,
Since you're so
no people talk like
no,
you.
they don't.
Well,
no,
if you don't like it, don't fucking
talk
play it.
like me. What they talk like, they talk in racial slurs. They cuss people out because of things they don't want. They say mean things to these developers, and of course the developers like fuck you. So of course that's how it goes, bro. You think you think everybody just has like wants to have open discourse that's just honest and open and fair? Come on, bro. No. Everybody's not having.
Well,
That's
I'm sure
pie
they're-
in
I'm
the
sure
sky
they're,
thinking, bro. That's like saying like, well, I think like this. Everybody don't think like you. Everybody don't have a rationale to come.
Oh, I'm not saying
There's some-
everybody
there's
does.
some people
but
that don't
at
play
the
that right, okay.
end of the day, the core of what they're saying is they're critiquing the game, saying I don't like this part. Now, yes, some people are going to use more harsher words than others. That's just the world we live in.
No, but you can't ho-hum that.
It is
Then
what
you
it
can't-
is.
No, but you
My-
can't
my-
ho-hum
my
that.
thing is-
If you ho-hum
because
the
the
other
thing that
side,
you-
if you ho-hum the other side, D, if you go, oh, people are sensitive, but then you can't go, oh, well, people say harsh words. You can't do that. You can't go, it's people being too soft here.
To me,
but
if
then
you
ho-hum
put
here.
out art,
That's true.
know it's going to get critiqued. Period.
Yeah,
point
but that
blank.
doesn't.
If you put anything out
But that
into the
doesn't
world,
mean that every
people are going
that
to
doesn't mean
critique
every
it.
critique is valid or warranted. So just because you can handle it doesn't mean everybody can handle it with the same fervor. Everybody can't handle every situation that like I handle it. 900 people got laid off from my job. Everybody's not taking it like Deontay is. That's just how it works, bro. But we go into thinking about things because of the way we think about them. Like, I think this way, therefore it's stupid because everybody else doesn't think like this. Like, it's not true. Some people don't move like you move or like we move. That's just the way it is. And you have to kind of think in like a more global scale. Like, yeah, everybody's sensitive. The world.
All I know, we put this podcast out. If people call it trash or whatever,
that's cool.
I'm not about to sit here and get sensitive.
No, it don't matter about getting sensitive.
I'm going to be like, yo, bro, that's your opinion.
Sure.
Cool. You don't like it. You don't have to listen to it. If there's something that you don't like about it, let me know.
But do
like,
I have
okay,
to, but
you think it's trash.
But
what is it that you don't like?
Are we being sensitive because we double down on what they say they don't like?
I see, but I'm not petty like that. So I don't move like that. My point exactly.
Do, and that's your problem.
Exactly.
I do. Now, I do. So don't tell me what you don't like about my shit. Oh, you don't? I'm doing it. Just because you don't like it, motherfucker. Eat it. Now what? It's mine? Now. Gonna tell me. Fuck out of here. No, I love some petty shit. Fuck that. No, motherfucker. Because you know what it is? The internet, that's the problem with the fucking internet. Motherfuckers feel like just because they can type some shit they shit need to be heard. Fuck out of here. Just because you think you know something. And that's going for me too. And all of us. Just because you could type some shit into a keyboard don't mean it needs to be heard or said. Shut up. Damn. Every opinion, just because you have an opinion, just because you have an opinion don't mean it need to be said or heard. And that's another thing. That's another problem with the world. Everybody feel like they got an opinion because of Twitter and Facebook and all these sites. Oh, now you have an opinion because you can holler in the zeitgeist. No, shut up. Nobody want to hear your dumbass opinions. Not you. I'm not talking to you. I'm just saying in general how people feel like that.
No,
like,
I got you.
You know, like, oh, it's like, nah, bro, like your opinions, everybody don't need to have their opinion heard. And me too. But you know what I'm saying? But at least I have I understand that. Like some people feel like everything they say is golden. It's like, it's not true, bro. So I don't know. Opinions like assholes. Everybody has one, but I do understand artists being sensitive about their craft and about the things that they put out because artists are sensitive creatures.
If you're gonna take the praise, though, you gotta take the critique.
Artists are sensitive, and you have to understand that everybody's not built for taking critique like that. It takes it takes time to be.
Then you should stop putting your art out publicly.
No,
period.
Because how do you get? How do you get comfortable with the critique? How do you get comfortable with critique?
I really don't think. I think very few humans get comfortable with critique.
Then what are we talking about?
I feel like
then this is just a human nature, right? And that's a normal human behavior. Then if most humans don't get, then why are we critiquing them and telling them that they suck? That's just being a human. You're a superhuman.
I guess I'm just built different because people when people the words that people use. If you're like coming at me and using just words that just don't need to be, like you're just going ham for no reason, I'm not really even going to trip off of you. But if you're coming at me and you're like, yo, I don't like your podcast because X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. Either that's something we choose to implement or something we don't choose to implement. But yo, I appreciate you listening. Thank you for your opinion.
Yeah,
keep it pushing. But I mean, that's what I say in the podcast all the time. I'm like, yo, please go rate, subscribe. Right. I mean, if you like it, rate it 5. If you don't like it, give a thumbs down, whatever. Like, be honest with your critique. Don't lie about it.
Everybody, not you. And if you built that way, that's how you're built.
I also think that's because I read the 48 or the 48 Laws of Power, and Law 10 is.
But everybody don't have.
But understanding that in your mind, and for those that haven't read the book, Law 10 is the rule of 10, pretty much. 4 people are going to like it, 4 people are going to hate it, and 3 people are going to be on the fence. Like, if like it's just nobody's going to like everything.
Yeah.
And if anybody does, that's what, like I said, because the main place that I hear this a lot is really with music. It's like, if you don't like somebody's music, you are just deemed to be a hater. And I just think that that's crazy. Why can't you just not like that person's music? Like, I'm not a huge Usher fan. I've never been a big Usher fan. And my sister calls me a hater all the time. I'm like, I don't hate Usher. I think Confessions is one of the dopest R&B
It's
albums
the greatest
ever.
R&B album ever.
I'm not a Usher fan, but I can sit here
It's better
and
than any
say,
album.
yo,
It's better than
Confessions
any album you can
is
name.
is like when that album came out, that album was amazing. I listened to that album from front to back, including the special edition when that came out. And I'm not a fan of Usher, but I know good music when I hear good music, whether I like the artist or not. So it's like, how am I a hater? I bought the album. I spent my hard-earned money when you used to have to buy music. I actually bought that album. It was an amazing album. Like I said, one of the best R&B albums of all
Haters buy
time.
music, D.
So, but I get it.
I just want to put that out there.
Anyways,
Haters go to concerts.
the next topic.
Haters go to concerts. Haters go to basketball games.
Yeah, that's
haters
crazy
go to
as
football.
hell.
Listen, bro, the Kardashians, and they're not rich because of their fans. They're rich because of haters too. Haters view their show just as much as so your haters sometimes are more than your fans. So because they want to see you, they want to watch you fail. So like they want to see the downfall.
wild.
So sometimes your haters support you more than your
I
fans.
actually
do.
like the Kardashians show.
Because think about who else gonna comment on
I
your
actually
shit.
learned something when I
Who else
watched the
comment on your
Kardashians.
shit? What you learn?
He paused.
What you learn on there?
Like
you
you
learned
learned
something on there?
I actually, people say that to me all the time when I say that. So yeah, I did not know, believe it or not, at that time, like I've always known that you could get life insurance and all that good stuff because I have life insurance. That was one of the weirdest days of my life getting that though. That's a story for another time. But I didn't know that you could like pre-buy your casket, your burial site. I didn't know, like, you could get all that stuff prepared, and they had an episode where they did that, and I was like, I didn't know you could do that.
I mean, the rich
so
do that. The
now
rich people do that. They already got their sites built. That's why they already got their like.
After I watched
plot
that
and
episode,
a whole thing. It's
yeah.
funny. Me and my girl.
So after I watched that
cemetery
episode,
close and we went
I
for a
set
walk.
up a,
Yeah, you can do that for sure.
I set up a payment plan. So I'm well, it's paid off now. But at the time when I seen that episode, a couple of weeks after that, I called a local cemetery because I want to get cremated. I'm like, why buy a box and put my body in a box and then bury it? Like, that's stupid. But at the time, cremation was cheaper. Now, because a lot of people started going in that direction, they're pretty much cost the same now. But so I got it when it was low. But nonetheless,
bury people, it run out of fucking space. Most
that too.
places,
but yeah, so I set up a payment plan. I paid it off, and I'm good to go. But that's all because of the Kardashians. Had I not seen that episode, I never would have known.
Shout out to the Kardashians for teaching this motherfucker something.
So yeah, shout out to the Kardashians. I mean, they taught me something super morbid and weird, but hey, I learned something. So the Kardashians and they fat asses are educational.
Guess they fat.
And they show you some dope restaurants to eat at in LA when you go to LA
can't
too.
afford.
But nope.
So how dope is it actually?
I can window shop.
Dope.
I can go eat the leftovers after somebody get up and leave.
Rich people don't eat at dope restaurants.
No, they
Let me
don't.
kick facts to you.
That's a whole other topic.
Rich people don't eat at dope shit. I'm trying to tell you it. I don't know if you know, but rich people don't eat at dope restaurants. Some of the restaurants be good, have good food, but like it don't be like fire like that. Like I don't think I've ever been to like a nice restaurant where it's been like, man, this is fire, where everything is like just like fire. It's like no, it's fine. Small courses, you know what I'm saying? It's more about presentation.
More about ambiance,
that too, where
really.
you are, who you're around, who's there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That bullshit.
My daughter can make their plates and they would think it's amazing. I said my daughter can make their plates and they would think it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it worked. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like a lot of those places just for like the look and where you are, you paying for where. I mean, New York, same thing. A lot of these places. I mean, Atlanta is just the land of that. That's what Atlanta is. It's just.
Would you let Salt Bay put his meat in your
I'm
mouth?
not going to Salt Bay restaurant. That overpriced shit.
So the last piece of news that we have for this
It's my own
week.
fucking say. You could buy gold leaf wrap, bro, yourself. Go on Amazon right now. You could buy it. You know what I'm saying? You could buy that wrap, get you a regular steak from Safeway, wrap your shit up in some gold after you cook it, and be like, Salt Bay.
That is so
there you
stupid.
go. You good.
That is so
The
stupid.
stupidest shit. Get out of here. That's dumb as a bitch. Stupid, man. Stupid as fuck. Hate that shit.
Yo, you gonna be a grumpy old man when you
Funny
get older.
grumpy old man.
You'll be like, fuck these kids.
No, I love the-
playing at the park.
I
What the
love
fuck you playing
I
at the
love
park
the
for?
babies. I'm supported. I want the kids to play. I love that. Nah, I love that shit.
Man.
You talking about?
So the last thing that we have on the news for this week is the PlayStation 5 Pro specs leaked. And my good friend over here, Mr. H.00, is excited for this Pro.
I'm not necessarily excited. I have a PC now. Not now, but I have a PC. So, you know, inferior consoles like the PlayStation and Xbox are beneath me, you know. I'm excited.
You ain't playing either.
I'm not. That's the crazy part about this shit. I'm really not. They just gave me my sweet release from that too. Like, well, I'm free, Steam. What's up? You know what I'm saying? So, but no, I'm excited for one game and one game on this Gran Turismo. So really, it's gonna be like, what does Gran Turismo have to offer from that?
Oh shit! I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Yeah, no,
What I heard you say, Gran, I thought you was going the other
Theft
direction.
Auto? Nah, that ain't gonna. That's gonna like. Let me segue. That's not running at 60 frames. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen that article.
Just because it's still got the same CPU, just like the PS4, the PS4 Pro. So it's not like they're putting a new CPU in this thing. It's just going to be overclocked a little harder. It's going to be able to run a little, the hertz going to be higher, but it's not going to do anything more on the CPU side. So it's going to have a nicer graphics processor. So it'll probably do, it's not really fixing the problems of the console, right? It's not. So it's like, it's a half measure that's going to get you to the next console. That should be the big thing, but it'll do some cool shit. So I'm just hoping for 1440p at 120 on Gran Turismo. I think that's fair.
1440.
I think that's a fair ask, right? I don't think that's too crazy. You know, I'm not even asking for 4K, just 1440. You know, make it look a little sharper at a higher refresh rate. You know what I'm saying? Run a little smoother. Because I'm like, what else could I be? Because I don't know what else to be excited for about that console. You know what I'm saying? Are you excited? I mean, I think I was. Well, was I? About the Pro? I don't know. Maybe.
Can you see this?
I can now. Let's see. Oh my God. Yeah. The gaming industry is going woke. There's no white people in gaming. Is that what that said?
I don't know. It says.
Is that what that said?
It just says no white people. It says no white people ?
Has
The gaming industry has gone woke.
Where? As someone who worked at it, where? Where, pray tell? Where is this imaginary wokeness? Where? And also, the word woke. Let's talk about it real quick. Because
let's talk about
this is a video game podcast, but we're going to educate. So the word woke was a black term that just meant like keeping your head straight, watching out for,
like
stay woke, right?
But perfect example was Get Out.
Yeah, for sure.
Stay woke,
keep your mind. Hey, stay woke, bro. Stay woke. You know what I'm saying? Like
keep your head on the swivel.
Third eye, you know what I'm saying? Keep stay woke. But what happened is during the pandemic and COVID, white people co-opted it, right? And then wokeness became a term for like liberal freedom or like liberal expression. So like the woke, right? And now it's been like co-opted. So now it's washed, right? It's a co-opted term. So now it's gone. It's in the ether now, and it's one of those terms you'll never get back. But like woke, I hate when people use woke because it's a slur now. It's like saying like, oh, the woke. And it's like, so then if being woke is wrong, what is that? I don't, you know what I'm saying? what's the flip to being, you know what I'm saying? Because like if you're calling there has to be like a name back, right? Like if the woke is woke, then what are you? You're just the real? Yeah,
Sleep.
like what is that? What are you? Like also like when people call people snowflakes, it's like you're not smart. And let me tell you why you're not smart. Snowflakes are like uniquely individual and special. So like saying that is also saying like you're special. You're really like unique. And it's like you're trying to say like it's funny, like, oh, you think you're special or unique, but it's like, well, snowflakes are actually unique. So you would be a false snowflake or like maybe like some hail. You're not really snow or like some sleet. But calling someone a snowflake is like kind of like it's kind of like when you know when black people call white people a cracker. It's kind of like it's like it has no weight. It holds no weight. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't come from the same place. It holds no weight.
Yeah, like you're giving them credit.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's worthless. It's pointless. It does nothing, right? It just like
for those of you that don't know, the term cracker is a term that slaves would use when the white man was coming to
whip cracker.
Them with the cracker. They
whipping and the cracking. So again, off top.
So you're not insulting white people when you call them a cracker. That's not an insulting
because
word.
It never came from a place of power, and usually derogatory terms like that or racial slurs come from a lower than, you know, it comes from below down. You can't necessarily talk up. So it's like talking shit to somebody that's like bullying you. It's like it don't work. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same shit. Like, but it was a cool term that we came up with that was hilarious. If anything, it's hilarious. It is a hilarious term because they turned it into like a 70s slang. Cracker. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like, but it holds no weight. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it holds no weight because like a white person's not going to get upset when you call them a cracker. But if you call a black person the N-word of any kind, most likely they're going to get upset because it holds a different spiritual weight. You know what I'm saying? There's slavery attached to that, like real death and life and shit. There's no life and death with the word cracker. So anyway, I don't even know how we got on that tangent, but the word woke is now hella whack.
The picture
the word
that I
woke is
showed
hella
you
whack
from,
now because they co-opted it, and just like anything, you know, it got co-opted. Just like dapping, like the you know, the handshake, the high five, all black things. The high five was a black thing. The dap is a black thing. Like, but now it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like giving someone a dap is it's like a black thing. The high fucking five, the thing that everybody does, is a black thing. Google it. A baseball player from San Francisco created it. So, or you know, was it the San Francisco Giants, something like that? Whatever, black dude.
Even raising the roof.
Raise the roof. All that shit. It ain't much cool. Okay, I put it to you like this. It ain't much cool shit that we ain't stepped on first. Cool. Like cool in the zeitgeist. If you really think about it right now, like think of just cool shit, whether it's your favorite dances, whatever it is. Stoplight, whatever it is. It definitely, you know what I'm saying, a little melon was a part. So, you know, it's hard to get rid of that, especially in this country. You know, that type of shit is hard to get rid of. You can't get rid of that, what we did here. I don't even know where we're going with this. That woke shit threw me off. I hate that shit just seep into, like, they're trying to like bring that into gaming. Like, why, bruh? What game has been woke? To the term that they use it now, right? Like what game? I'm trying to think of like a game that's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like,
no, I know the main thing that's bothering people now is inclusion.
But why can't people be included if they're making the fucking games? Like if I'm making a game, why can't I put myself in the fucking game? We used to complain about not seeing ourselves in the games, right? But now people mad about seeing other people in the games? Come on, cuz.
I think what it is
you want to see straight white. You want to see. They want to see straight white men on the cover. And it's cool. Just say that. I'd rather you say that. I'd rather you just say you want to see a bunch of Nathan Drakes.
I'm not speaking for myself, but I think these days they feel it's because narratives are being pushed.
But that's everywhere.
Whereas
that's everywhere and everything. So if you can't, if you don't like the narratives on that side, then you need to complain about the narratives on the other side. But you don't do that. So that's not fair. If you can't listen, the only way to complain about narratives if you're complaining about narratives from both camps. But what happened is now everything is so siloed or so like teams based, right? Everybody's like running these weird ass teams, like we're fucking sports teams, like the Steelers and the fucking Colts or some shit. It's not team based, right? So you should be able to be subjective in your thought, right? Or objective, right? So like but people aren't. That's the problem. So it's weird, but we just live in a weird world, bro, where people will point the finger, but they doing the same thing on the other side. They just won't call it out. Or when something like that happens on the other side, they won't call it out because it fucks up their, you know what I'm saying, what they believe in, right? So like you can't say like, oh, this person was wrong for saying that. Because it's like, well, I do really like them. I can't really say that. You know what I'm saying? Because then they question. It's this weird dance of like not being able to be genuine. And if the person that you vote for or you like isn't saying the right things, you can say this motherfucker's fucking up. Because one, the whole point of this thing is to be able to speak up against your government if you don't like what they're doing, right? That's the whole point of governments, right? It's not to fall in line. It's not for dictatorship. It's about to be able to speak up if you don't like what someone's doing. It's just like our favorite games, right? When our favorite games are...
Unless you live in Russia.
That's a different story. Shout out to my man on 25 years strong. That's what Trump wants because he see, bruh, 25 years. He just got reelected, 2 days ago? For the 25th year or some shit like that. So that's what Cuz is trying to do if he get back into that office. He wants to do the, the whatchamacallit. But, people say they fuck with it. That's what they want. You only mark your tab. You can't really control what happens after that. All the hooting and hollering like you have a say is stupid. You know what I'm saying? You root for your team or whatever the fuck you call it. If they don't win, you walk away. And that's how it's supposed to be. But what happens is it's turned into sports or WWE. And it's stupid. But that's a story for another day too. And we can sit here and talk about that shit all day too.
Man.
But that's what it is. It turned to teams, bro. We talking teams here. I don't even know how we got on. How did we get there? Are we done?
Unrelated. Unrelated. The podcast is coming soon.
Oh man, I can't wait to get this hair.
It's coming next
look
month.
at this hair, y'all. This shit is crazy up under here. I can't show you all of it, but it's about to get done soon. It looks nuts.
Looking like
I
Lil
got a
Wayne.
fro up under here, dog. Look at that. Look at all that new growth. Can you see that? That's crazy. Don't look at
Barely.
that. Sheesh.
I thought you was coming on Rastafarian style. Then you came. Then I was like, all right, I'm
Oh,
about
you
to
froze.
record. You came back with a hat on.
You said what? You got froze for a minute.
I said, yeah. I said you had you didn't have your hat on at first, and I was like, oh, he came back with a hat on. I thought you was going in Rasta style.
Nah, not with the crazy Afro sideburns. I was like, ow. If I didn't have the crazy Afro side, because I haven't got my hair cut in like 2.5 months, maybe longer.
When
Tomorrow.
you going?
Tomorrow.
No, that's funny.
Tomorrow.
I'll be going on Saturday.
I go see my stylist to get my shit washed and relocked, and then yeah. So I should be back.
So next week you gonna be next episode of Select Start Radio, you gonna be looking fresh.
A little. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys
Yes.
for tuning into another episode of Select Start Radio. Do what y'all need to do on the socials.
Please.
Help us out. Share the podcast, post it on your stories. Or don't. Share it on Twitter or X. Shout out to DonLemon.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
With,
you know what? I gotta watch
Elon
that,
Musk.
and we need to talk about that because I haven't watched that yet. I said I want to watch that. We need to talk about that because it's Monday. Shit, I need to watch that.
Yeah, good old Elon. Man, I love my Tesla, but Rivian, how you doing?
It's been a long time. It's been brewing for a minute though. I mean, to get a side note, when he started doing the D&I stuff back at Tesla, the factory. I mean, even before COVID, when he was all acting like a baby and wanting to shut the shit down. Like before we really knew what was going on with COVID, he was hella pissy about people working. That should have been the first sign. I was like, all right, guys, like what's going on, man? We don't even know what's happening out here in these streets, but you acting prophetic like you do. Fuck out of here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I felt it the first time he went on Joe Rogan.
The smoking
but
time?
Again, him and Joe Rogan, you know, they shared pretty much the same ideologies.
I mean,
so Joe didn't really hit him with any hard-hitting questions. So Don Lemon, this is the first time and again, it wasn't like a I gotcha type interview. He was like asking some real questions. It's like, bro, this is what your tweet said.
What does that mean? Yeah,
so
explain that. But what happens is when you're a billionaire, you never have to explain for things that you say. You can say whatever you want and no one's going to question you. And everybody's
and there was pretty much a point in that interview where he kind of got down like that.
Yeah,
and
I saw the clip when he basically said, what'd he say? He said, I wasn't going to even give you the only reason I gave this
interview. I did it because you asked me to.
You signed the exclusive deal to the platform. So basically, it's like I wouldn't have gave your black ass this fucking interview if it wasn't for you signing the exclusive deal to my platform.
Whew. Yeah, that interview definitely exposed some things that you kind of thought was there, but like now you know. Now you know. Like now it's like he came out.
Don't ruin it for me.
You
though.
got that. Pick yourself up by your
don't worry. I want to watch it.
Yeah,
I want to watch. I want to watch this motherfucker say.
Yeah.
I want an R3X anyway.
So, but it is a good interview. I recommend people check it out. Don Lemon, I felt he did a good job. I felt it was a very fair interview.
Yeah. It seemed like the questions I saw, it seemed like he was just asking questions that, you know, it wasn't even like hardballs. It was just like stuff that we don't know. Like, you know, things that you want to ask somebody.
I think people fail to realize if you don't want to answer a question, you don't have to answer it. Like, as an interviewer, don't give me, like, if anybody were to ever come on, not necessarily this podcast, but when we started doing our podcast unrelated, if we ever had somebody come on that podcast, don't have your PR rep give me a list of questions not to ask you because I'm going to rip it up. I can ask you whatever I want. Now, how you answer it is on you. If you don't want me asking you about your wife or whatever, I'm going to ask you.
Right.
Now, how you answer it is on you. Now, you can say, I prefer not to talk about that, and then we'll move on. But I'm going to ask you.
As the interview, you have to understand that now, if you ask certain questions and you get certain actions, you know, it's because certain questions. So yeah, it's you know, cool. That's the game. So
I just feel like when you go somewhere and you're getting interviewed, you have the right to get asked any question. 'Cause this isn't really saying much because he's posted this on Twitter, but he had Don Lemon had asked him about this medication that he takes, and he was like, you know, it's very personal to ask people about their medical whatever or whatever, and it's like you don't have to answer he then proceeded to answer the question, but you didn't have to answer the question. You could have just said, you know, that's personal, I prefer not to answer the question, period. But I feel like, you know, but the thing about Elon is he says he promotes free speech. And if that's something that you say you promote, then me interviewing you, asking you questions is free speech. You have the freedom to answer or not answer.
It's full of shit. It's free speech. It's all full of shit. Kanye, they all do that shit. They all talk about being free thinkers and free speech, and they get people that are weak-minded. All these guys, these Jordan Petersons, all these guys, they watch and they prey on people that are looking for something because people need leadership. So people yearn for someone to tell them what to think, how to think, or to validate their thoughts, right? So that's what these guys do, and they're really good at it. And it's easy to get people to follow you like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of just what happens. And when you're that rich, you don't have to. Who asking you questions? You know what I'm saying? Who's asking you anything?
Which is what he was not used to.
No,
which is
he
what
don't
he wasn't
ask
used
no
to.
questions.
And you could
When
tell.
he's sitting down with motherfuckers, it's layups, bro. When he's sitting down with MKHB or whoever, they ask him only questions about Tesla. They're not asking anything about like personal information. But he'll be on Twitter or X talking shit all day. But when someone has the opportunity to ask him real questions, he like, but you could talk about hella political shit on there. You could talk about all kind of shit. You make fun of all kind of shit on there. But when someone asks you about those questions, it's personal. Fuck out of here. You capping. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to be asked questions. Yeah. You want to be able to say stuff. And that's what happens when people get really rich. They want to be able to project. They don't want to be projected on. That's kind of the game. You know what I'm saying?
So when you get a chance, you definitely watch it. It's a good interview.
I might do that tonight before I go to sleep.
But
actually, I don't want that energy when I go to sleep. I will watch in the morning.
I can dig that. Well, again, we appreciate you guys. We thank you for tuning into another episode. Until next week, I am one of your hosts, DLB, Sacramento, California, and along with me for the ride every single time, my partner in crime from East Oakland, California, Mr. Hoodnerd. On that note, until next week, people, have an amazing weekend. We're out of here. Peace.